inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. The more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for. Deep inside my heart, I've got this everlasting light is shining like the sun. It radiates on everyone. And the more that I give, the more I've got to give. It's the way that I live, it's what I'm living for.
You're center stage. Aloha, everyone. Mele kalikimaka, happy Hanukkah and everything. Happy light, happy season of light. Almost solstice, right? Yeah, lots happening. So I'm Reverend Rita. This is
Reverend Pepper. I was ready for her to say it, but there you go.
And we want to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai. And our usual announcement person, Michelle, is not here today, so we're just going to tell you a few things that are going on this week. And then everything's in your program, so just kind of keep that with you in case you want to return and come to some of our activities.
So we'll start out with the bookstore is open, and this would be like the last day of, I don't know, holiday shopping or whatever, but there's a lot of great things there. So check that out at the end of service. And we have our fifth annual caroling. For those who, you guys look stunned.
Yay.
Caroling, and it will be at our home. And all you have to do is at the end come up to myself or one of the wonderful Malama team, and they have the secret password and address to get you to the location. And but we have a lot of fun. And last year, somebody told me that they didn't want to come because they don't sing, but that's really not the purpose of the caroling. The caroling, the purpose of it is for us to go around the neighborhood and just have a really good time. And last year, we brought so much love and so much warmth to that neighborhood. So please do not let that hold you back. And?
Yes. And then at the end of the week, on Friday, we actually have our spiritual cinema, and this month we're doing The Miracle on 34th Street, the old classic, a wonderful movie about belief, and our whole month is about belief, so it's just so perfect. And even if you've seen it, come join us and get in the spirit of it. And we always have a discussion after and popcorn and all of that. So enjoy us. I don't remember what time it is, 6:30?
6:30.
Yeah, 6:30. Okay, and then next Sunday is Christmas Eve. We're not going to have a Christmas Eve service at night, but we are going to use that Sunday celebration service as our Christmas Eve celebration. So we hope that you will all be here, and then we're going to have a big potluck, like Christmas Eve dinner after. So please come and enjoy next Sunday. We'll have some extra music, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yes,
Great.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing this week. Next Sunday, we'll let you know what's happening for the rest of the year. No, I'm just kidding. So there.
Okay.
I'm so glad you got that.
All right, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, so let's all take a deep breath. Oh, it's all spirit, really, even announcements. But I like to center in this moment, and this moment only, leaving that all behind and just being here together as we light our peace candle. And just remember that peace, that love, that energy, that source of peace is right where we are. So we center in that peace right here and right now and take a moment of silence in that peace within us, knowing that as we do, we radiate that peace out into our experience and into our world. And so it is. So here you are. You've chosen to be here this morning at Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai, where our only purpose is to magnify that spirit within us, that life source. And this is a practical spirituality in the way that we get to bring that source, that spirit, that life within us into living. That's its whole purpose, is to live through us and to breathe through us and to experience through us. And we get to know that spirit, God, whatever we want to call it, with our own consciousness. It's the only place we can really ever know it. Nobody can really give that to us. It's already ours. So here we are, and we just remember that in each other and in ourselves and see the world through those eyes. So thank you for being here.
And just a little addition to that. The other day, I think it was Luis, we were talking about what CSL Kauai really is. And it's such a spiritual recharging place for all of us. But it's even more than that. It's if you want to use it, it's like a spiritual networking center because we come together and we all live sometimes separate lives, yet we're all one life. And we do a lot of things out on our island. There's so many great things. We were talking about the music and just so many events. And we come together, and because we are together as a family, we find out about all of that great stuff that's going on out there. So I'm so happy that we have made that what this is, and we get to recharge ourselves and go back out into the world and just make a difference. So mahalo, mahalo. Now, who is here for the very first time? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there. I scared him. I go, and who is here for the very first? So anyone else? I would probably, yep. Okay, it's
Welcome.
okay. There won't be any dance number rehearsals or anything, but don't get too much. Don't worry about it.
Do they know we have a children's group?
Oh, yes.
No, they do. Okay, good.
And we do have a wonderful children's program. But anyway, back to you, and you, and you, and you. So we know something about you. You don't have to say anything, but we'd like to share it with all the people that you are going to meet today. We have a little something to share with you about you, and shall we? You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Ah, what a relief that is, isn't it? To find out who you really are. And guess how we found out that you were magnificent? That we found out about that because we are magnificent. So shall we say it all together? I am magnificent. Doesn't that feel good? Someone said the other day, how long are you going to do it? This is year 5. You're going to keep saying you are magnificent? And I said, yes, until every one of us are beaming so much that, it's too much. But guess what? Rob is back there with this wonderful thing called a camera. And there's some people out there watching. I know Michelle is, as a matter of fact, and Sherry and Tom and a whole group of people. And guess what? We know that about them too, don't we? So let's give it to them on the mainland or here on the island. You are magnificent. Now look to your left, to your right, look up, look down. Doesn't really matter. Let somebody know who they are. You are magnificent. Harry's magnificent.
Peter is magnificent.
Peter's magnificent.
Whoa, right here. Oh, these guys are
Roseanne's
going. Okay.
magnificent. Joy's magnificent. Wasn't that a relief?
That's good. I just don't want this to catch on fire. I think it's okay. Yeah. If it does, you let me know. If you see it glowing back here.
I doubt it.
All right, so why don't we stand up with all that magnificence and have our opening song, shall we? I have a feeling that we're going to let some light shine. Ooh, that's it. A little stretching, a little warming up. How beautiful.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. No more living in fear. I'm gonna let it shine.
No more fear.
No more living in fear. I'm gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Can you feel that shining from within? Yes. I want to hear yes, just to start out with. Can you feel that wonderful energy that is coming through each and every one of us? That thing called good, that thing called life, it is just bubbling up, just like this island did. It came right out of the ocean to say, I am here, I am here. And that is what we are doing today. We have come to remember who and what we are, and that is good, that is God, that is light, that is everything, seen and unseen. That is life itself coming up to just say, I am that I am. So I just bless this time together. I know that we have come together on purpose. There's no accidents here. We are here by divine purpose, right on time, right here with light shining from within. So with that, I am just saying yes, 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 yes. And we're just letting it be. We are letting it go, and so it is. Let it shine.
All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Well, I see a lot of shining people, and I see lots of angels. And I see an angel right up here, and if you haven't seen this angel, can you stand and show off your wings? So my name is Roseanne Jones, and I have a tough job. I have to bring you back to quiet because this is time for meditation. So as you get settled in your seat, ready for going within for a few minutes, going to that space where you commune with the Great Spirit, the Spirit that is within you. And I have a seed thought for you to take into your meditation time, and it's a quote from Ernest Holmes. The quote is, "The more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power will it have." The more power one gives to her thought, the more completely she believes that her thought has power, the more power will it have. Enjoy your time. more power one gives to his thought, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power will it have. And what I know is that there is only one power in this entire universe. It is the universal mind in which we all live. It is the power that I call Spirit or God, which created everything in this universe and infuses everything in this universe with energy, with creativity, with growth, with good. And I know and declare that right here, right now, that each of us in this moment has all the gifts that Spirit infuses us with. And those are the gifts of love, of peace, of prosperity, of joy, of goodness, of perfect health, perfect being. And all of these gifts are for each of us to unwrap and bring into our lives with love and joy and gratitude. Unwrap your blessings. Enjoy them, know them, believe in them. For they are the gifts of Spirit. And I am so grateful for these gifts and breathing into them every moment, every day, knowing the truth. And I know this truth, and I release my words into the law of God that always says yes to our innermost beliefs as we affirm together, and so it is.
Please turn to your program so that we can sing the song together.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. Letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals,
Thank you, Roseanne. And thank you, Maria. And thank you, everyone. Oh, that was great. Really put me in the spirit, that's for sure. I am so grateful for this topic that we've been celebrating all month, belief. And I've just really taken it in and really pondered it in everything I do in my life, questioning myself, do I really believe that? Am I willing to put myself behind that belief? And sometimes when I do that, I realize that I don't really believe it, and I'm not willing to put myself behind it. Like when I stand at the foot of the ocean and I think I'm going to be okay if I walk in there and go into those waves, which I was doing the other day. And I was like, no, you don't really believe you're safe in there. So I suggest you stay out here because it is done unto you as you believe, right? So I think sometimes we do jump sometimes into things without fully maybe believing them. And then we wonder why that happened or whatever. So I think it's important to check in with ourselves all the time and say, do we really believe that? And are we willing to put ourselves behind that belief? And yeah, so this is a really great topic. We had a night of Phineas Quimby, who is the father of New Thought, this week. And he was all about belief. That's why he's the father of New Thought. And he was all about it's done unto you as you believe. And his whole ministry, he wasn't a minister or anything, but his whole healing ministry, which he had, was all about how people accept the beliefs of others, and therefore they get sick. They he said, man's belief is his misery. And how we are really a clean slate. I mean, we are a clean slate. We make it all up. And what he was realizing was that other people were putting these things on to us, or the human population, and they were taking it in, and therefore they were getting sick and all of this stuff. So what he did is he was able to go in to himself and know that there was a presence of perfection that was really the truth. And he was able to convey that to others. And I think that's what we're trying to do in this spirit, this thing called Science of Mind and Spirit that's going to be celebrating 100 years in 2018. How's that? Yeah. So is that we're realizing that we really are perfection. We really are this amazing thing. I don't like to say that I am God. I rather say God is me. Because God is you. God is man, woman. God is, that power is who we are. And we are nothing else. And it is done to us as we believe. So where does that passage come from? It comes from the Bible. And with the story of the centurion, remember him? And if those of you that are familiar with the Bible. he came to the Master Jesus and said that first of all, he believed that Jesus was a healer. That was the first thing. And then he also believed that if he would speak his word, all he had to do was speak his word. He didn't feel like he could bring Jesus over to his house for whatever reason, but he wasn't worthy for that. But he said, if you'll just speak your word, my servant will be healed. And what did Jesus say to him? You go. It's done unto you as you believe. And that's basically where I understand the statement first came. So it was his belief, but it was also something else, which I want to talk about today, which is his faith. Because they are two different things. They are closely related, but they're two different things. When we say we believe something, like I said before, but do we have faith in it? Do we have faith in our belief? So it's our faith that makes us act on our belief, because we know that our belief will be able to be manifested because we have faith in it and we're willing to walk in it. So did you know that today is the Wright brothers? When they took their first successful flight on December 17th of 1903. I just saw that because I was thinking about them. Because every time I go on an airplane ride, I get a little nervous. I don't know if anybody has that. And I do my treatment and before I walk on the plane and everything. But when the plane's taking off, I think of those two guys. And I see them running across the field, waving their hats and throwing them up in the air and celebrating the fact that their airplane or whatever that was that they first built was covered 120 feet and lasted for 12 seconds. They started right where they were. But they believed something. They believed that we could fly. They believed that we could fly, and they put their action, their faith behind that belief. And I'm sure they had a lot of, times that probably tousled down. I don't know how many, but I mean, they took a long time from the time they first started till 1903. So I'm sure it wasn't smooth sailing. Oh yeah, I'm sure it wasn't a small flight all the whole time. But they didn't give up because they believed in that. And if you look at any inventor or anybody like that, it's a good place to look to see that, because it didn't always happen for the person at first, but they believed in the principle so much that they kept testing it and they kept testing it. That's what Phineas Quimby did. He kept testing it and kept testing it and kept working on it and expanding his idea and trying it out but he still believed. He believed and he put his faith in the idea that we were whole and complete and that he knew that people could heal. So I think it's two things. It's three things: belief, faith, and then action. And you can't have the action if you're not coming from the belief and actually having faith in it. Otherwise, you're acting from blind faith, which I don't really believe in blind faith. At least I don't. Anyway, so today is also something else. It is we're in the middle of Hanukkah. Did you know that? Yeah, right. So Hanukkah, I have a little thing about Hanukkah, and I'm going to read it because I just want us to celebrate the idea of the faith of these people, okay? Hanukkah celebrates the triumph of faith and courage over military might. In the 2nd century BCE, the Jews were prohibited from studying sacred texts or celebrating Jewish holidays. The penalty for violation of these rules was death. In addition, the Holy Temple had been defiled with pagan rituals, and they had been ordered to worship other gods. But there was a small group of faithful Jews known as the Maccabees who rose up and defeated the invaders and reclaimed the temple, cleansed it, removed the idols, and rededicated the space to God. Within the temple, there was a huge menorah, they say, 7-branched candelabra that burned oil that had to be lit. And this light was supposed to remain lit within the temple. But what happened during this time is the sacred olive oil needed to burn in the menorah took 8 days to prepare. This is the part of the story. That's okay. Somebody's calling. Letting me remember something. It's okay. But the sacred olive oil needed to burn in the menorah took 8 days to prepare, and there was only enough of a supply for 1 day. Now, I didn't know that part of the story. So it was the oil they were waiting for that took 8 days, and they only had enough for the 1 day. So they decided to light the flame anyway. And a great miracle occurred. The oil burned continuously for 8 days, long enough for the new oil to be purified. So what made that oil burn for 8 days? They might have thought at that time, because God was outside of us, right, that there was a God that even if that was it still was their faith, right? They believed that their temple needed to be rededicated, and this is the way they needed to do it, and that they needed that oil. And but they were brave enough to light the candle and say, you know what, everything's going to be okay. We know it, so let's just do it. And then it burned for 8 days. It's a miracle. We all have those same miracles. I mean, they didn't stop back then. We have them now, but they take belief, faith, and then action. And when we say it's done unto us, it's because when we have belief and we have faith and we have action behind it, there's that law of our being that takes it and makes it so. We don't have to do all the work. All we have to do is walk in faith and be guided and directed and led. I remember one time I had torn the retina in my eye. I might have told you the story, but I don't probably tell you the whole thing. But the day I decided that I needed to see a doctor, and I believed that I would be healed, but I needed to see a doctor. I had been putting it off. Well, the day that I did that, I cannot tell you the miracle that happened from the moment I mentioned this to my husband till I ended up in a hospital at the head of ophthalmology, who just happened to want to see me. I don't know why. The other guy wouldn't touch me. He said, "No, I need to send you to ophthalmology." And then I ended up in the arms, not the arms, but in the hands of the head of ophthalmology, who took my cell phone number, gave it to this surgeon, and said, "You're going to work on this girl right now." The guy calls me on his cell phone. I end up in his office. Nobody else was there. I walked in, nobody checked me in. There were only 2 people in that lobby. I don't know who they were, but I think they weren't really from here. I think because they were telling me I was going to be okay and that they had gone through the same thing, and then I didn't see him again. Anyways, the guy took me into his office. Patrick was there because he witnessed this. And I sat in that chair and had this 2-hour procedure, and I can tell you that room was full. It was full of spirit, to the fact that you could see them. And they stood around me, and I had the surgery. And at one point, it was St. Teresa, right? She came and while they stood near me and put this needle in my eye, because I didn't have any anesthetic or anything like that. So anyway, to make it a long story short, I healed. Like within 10 days, I was healed. But I believe that it was because of my faith. First of all, letting go to spirit and saying, I believe I can be healed. I can't do this myself anymore, so what am I going to do, right? So, and then I'm guided and directed. I put it into action. I still have faith. And then everything comes in to assist us, no matter what it is in our life. But we have to take the steps. We have to believe, we have to have faith, and we have to take action. And people come to me in this philosophy, and they tell me it doesn't work, and they tell me that they've tried it and all this stuff, and I get really upset now, because I really think is that they don't try, that they try it once, they try something once, and then or twice or 3 times or even a year, and then they say it doesn't work. But I say they're not really trying. They think they're trying, but what they're doing is they're trying to do it themselves. Just like I was trying to heal my eye myself that day, instead of knowing that there was a spirit that was working through me, that was going to guide and direct me to the right place to make that happen. So it's faith, it's belief, it's faith, it's action. So that's my message for today. Belief, faith, and action. And I know we all have it, and we all have the capability to take anything in our life and turn it around in any moment with those 3 things, because there is a power that works within us that is, we can't even, it is to us what we know it is right now, but it's even more than that. And the more we know it right where we are now and allow it to work through us, the more it's going to expand within us, and we're going to see amazing things happen as we progress and as we evolve. I know that. So let's just take a moment to take a deep breath and just take this all in and just take what we want and leave the rest behind, because we are each individual expressions of that one spirit, and we get to choose. That's another thing. We get to choose in this moment, in every moment, what it is that we want to believe, what it is we want to have faith in, and what we want to, how we want to take action by allowing that power that we are to work through us. So I know each of us has that capability, and each of us uses it now to its highest degree, and that our lives are exactly, perfectly aligned with that right here and right now. So I just let it go, and I know, and I get out of the way, and I accept it done for each of us in the most perfect way as we affirm together. And so it is. Thank you.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was like a never-ending song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I could see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. Yeah. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside me. Oh, if I could see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. I spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
Mahalo. And mahalo, right, brothers? Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Today has such a special energy in this room. It's just, I'm just bathing in it, to be honest with you. So this whole month, it seems longer as far as that we've been talking about belief. And I just wanted to do a little review because we started out with whose beliefs are running the show, especially if you weren't here. It's a nice little review. And we talked about seeing is believing or is believing seeing. And we talked about Nita Morjani, if anyone remembers. She proved the miracle, and then everyone called her delusional. Because sometimes we get afraid of the miracle. Either it's not going to happen or it is going to happen. And then last week, we did talk about, do we still believe in miracles? And we also discussed Santa, and that Santa is very much alive, because that's the very belief in which we are. And I just wanted to address it because I had a few comments about it, which is not unusual when you stand in this part of your life in front of people. But Santa is not about materialism. And if that was any part of my message, I just want to make it clear that that's not what my message was. My message is about belief, that Santa represents belief. And so we also realize if you don't believe in Santa, that you get underwear and socks. And that I wrote a letter to Santa, and there are 10 wonderful Reverend Patrick's holiday, just in case you get blue tips, right out there on the information table. A story just came up that's not here, but it must be told, of course, because that's how I work. Speaking of Santa, I had written a letter, and my first thing on the list was, please help the neighbors next door stop fighting. And I'm telling this story only about the belief part of it. So immediately when I wrote it, it went quiet. And I was like, whoa. You know that, like, uh-huh. I knew what I was doing because then I thought I was doing it, you know? Then I said, Santa. And so a week went by, but this is what I kept doing. I kept going out to the window to make sure that it wasn't happening. So have you ever done that in the belief world? Oh my God, look at answered prayer, answered prayer. Are you sure? So, as it were, a couple nights ago, it's back. And so I got it, and it's been a very interesting thing for me because Rita's always asleep during it. She does not hear it. And I'm hearing it, and they are real. Just saying, they are real. And I said, come on, man. I mean, what do I need to know about this? And besides a whole bunch of buttons being pushed, I realized that it's not complete faith if you keep looking out the window to hear it again. I was waiting for it to come back because I couldn't fully believe that I was that powerful. Because I never stopped them. My prayer was not to stop them. My prayer is to have peace. And peace starts with me. And that's what I got out of it. I went away from my peace and was going to tell them how their peace was going to look. And so I really learned from that once you declare it and it manifests, trust it. Trust it. So this week was very interesting. I was thinking about this philosophy and this whole idea of who we truly are. And there was a couple of moments I felt a little alone. Have you ever felt that? Once I gave up the idea that there was something outside of myself that I usually ran to, and that it was right here, then it felt a little lonely. And I have this wonderful quote from Napoleon Hill. It says, it takes half your life before you discover life as a do-it-yourself project. And then I took that a little further when I went, well, I don't want to do it all by myself. Do you? No. But it doesn't mean that we're doing life by ourselves. It just means if no one comes in to help, I'm still going to do my life. And that was the powerful addition that I felt from it. Yeah, it is. All my decisions about my life are mine. And yeah, I love assistance. But if it doesn't come, I'm not giving up what my life is, my decisions, my choices, my things. So I was thinking of this whole idea that we asked about. Ernest Holmes tells us that we are left alone to discover ourselves. And then you go, but I totally get that too. It's not about being alone. It's about going to that place inside of us and daring enough to remember who we are. Because we've been asking that question for a long time. Who am I? Where do I come from? And now we don't have to worry about it because we have Ancestry.com. And it's on sale this month. Wasn't going to point out who's on Ancestry.com. But here goes. I got to tell you because it fits right in. This is their advertising. Unlocked the family story in your DNA. Your DNA can reveal your ethnic mix and ancestors you never knew you had. That's called secrets in your family, by the way. Places and people deep in your past where records can't always take you. Try Ancestry DNA and get a new view into what makes you uniquely you. And I like that. So I did my own tracing this week. I was running on my wonderful Kalia path. And I thought of my family and as far back as I can. I don't really think about them a lot, but I went, wow, it really goes back. And I just was really present, and I really want you to know that this was an experience that was just wild. And if I can't tell you, who can I tell? And I'm sitting there, and I'm actually going, just before I started my run, I thought, how far do I go back? How far? Grandma, grandpa, the secret, then another grandma, grandpa, and it goes all crazy. But then I just completely stayed and let myself go all the way back as far as I could. You have no idea. It's far back. And I went, oh my God, literally, I'm a descendant of spirit. I'm a descendant of spirit. I am a king. I am a king. And I went, well, I can't really say that. That's presumptuous. It's audacious for me to come up here in front of you today and tell you who I am. I am a king. And I'm looking at all the other descendants of the spiritual royal family. That's who we are. That's who we are. And as I went back further and further and further and further, past the Big Bang, hello, that's traveling. That's traveling. And it wasn't a visual. It was a feeling that I had always been here. I had never not been here. Maybe not as this wonderful Patrick Farron that stands before you today, but it was an energy that was so wonderful. And I thought about this idea of being a king. It could be because I'm watching The Crown a bit too much these days. But I'm going to go beyond the humor. If anyone knows me, I do like to throw a little humor in now and then. But here it goes. It's not funny because I really am a king. And I am a descendant of spirit. But there's a big responsibility with being king. Now, I have a choice. I can never, ever get rid of my royalty. None of us can. You will never be able to shun your spiritual ancestry, ever. But you can abdicate the throne. You don't have to become king or queen. You can abdicate it. Have you ever abdicated the throne? I know I have. I know I have when I said that I am less than who I am. A king doesn't mean you're better. It means that you have taken responsibility. It is done unto me as I believe. That means that I don't get to blame you for my life. I don't get to blame the ancestors that took me all the way back. All the way back. And I thought, wow. Wow. To believe you are king. And we said it, right? The kingdom of good is within. But do we really believe in our spiritual royalty? And what do you do with that? Because, being king and saying, I am a king, I am a queen, doesn't do anything if you're not going to have dominion over your kingdom. And so what I know about spirit is that I have dominion over my life, my thoughts. I have dominion over my choices. And I have to let go of whatever it is that I think, put these thoughts into my head, because it goes beyond thoughts, it goes into belief, or as Rita was saying, and then into action. The kingdom of good is within. Watch this movie called The Christmas Prince. And I'll cut to the chase, but not tell the ending. He abdicated, he wanted to abdicate the throne because he didn't feel worthy. His father was the great king. How could he ever be? How could he ever be king after that great king? How many times have we felt that in our lives? How could I ever be king when this, and compare it to that, and they have this, and they have that? Oh, I could never be. Who am I to say that I am king? Who am I not to tell the truth? To not be able to stand in front of you, finally. Yes, I'm Patrick. I'm Reverend Patrick. I'm a whole bunch of stuff. But you take me all the way back, and I am that God that Rita says God is me. I say it doesn't matter in the end because it's all one. And here's the other good news. We're all family, man. Not just in this room. I didn't get to be the only one who went back. And I know right now it's a little scary thought, but I do mean everyone is our family. Yeah. Let's just take a moment to ponder that. But it's okay. If I can get past that this is who I am, that this is who I am, that my actions on a daily basis is who I am all the time. No, if I can remember who I am, can you imagine the kingdom we can have? Can you imagine the good that we are when we are living in the kingdom of God? So I think the only question today would be, are you willing to take the crown of consciousness? Are we willing to take the crown of consciousness? Woo! Takes my breath away. It literally takes my breath away because that's how powerful we are. So, the only tool that I know that a king truly has is his, or a queen, is the belief in good. Can't be any other way, because we will run a kingdom of destruction. We will run a kingdom of destruction. I read a quote the other day, and the quote doesn't matter, but the gist of it is that we have finally learned that we have the power, and this is where the kingdom is coming in, the power to be constructive or destructive. And we can own that. And that we get the choice now. And it starts right here. It starts in our lives today, in this moment. From the moment you go from this moment to the next. It doesn't happen when something else out there changes. So I will leave you with this. It is not lonely for me to tell you who I am. But I really want you to know that this wasn't a little gimmick for a talk. That I am a king. And so is everyone else. And I think we should start treating one another as such. There's no one below us, above us, but we need to start treating each other for who we are. You are a queen, you are a king. Bless you. And if you'd like to stay a prince or princess a little longer because it's a little less responsibility, that's okay. Because it's done unto you as you believe. It is done unto you as you believe. It is done unto you as you believe. What an easy phrase, and all we have to do is follow it. Something shows up. It's done unto me as I believe. So the question I leave you with, you don't have to answer now. We can have your coronation at another time. Do you accept the crown of consciousness? Do you accept your queendom, your kingdom? And if you want to abdicate a little longer, that's fine too. But you can never, ever, ever throw away your spiritual background, your spiritual ancestries. You will never, you cannot ever, ever, ever destroy it. Long live the king. Long live the queen. That's who we are. And so it is. The queen.
Is always present, nowhere to be than where you are. The power of now flows oh so graciously. The power of now is always perfect, nothing to be than who you are. The power of now flows oh so easily. Be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. 'Cause everything goes away. Let everything wash away. ever flowing, connecting the light to the heart. The power of now flows oh so peacefully. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to control. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to know. 'Cause everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now.
Thank you, Maria. Beautiful music today. Beautiful. So this is our time of giving. And before we give today, I want to mention our pledge program, our committed giving for 2018. I thank Patrick and I thank everyone in our board of trustees for people that have made a pledge for 2018. It just helps us to make our budget, which we're doing now for 2018, and we are growing. We are growing. So thank you for all that support.
Yes, thank you.
And there are still pledge forms in the lobby if anybody would like to do that, and then they can just drop them in the basket anytime. So with that said, thank you for what you give today. It is going to good use. We give out 10% of what we take in all month long, and so it goes back to organizations on the island and on the mainland also. So we'll make a list of those so you see where it's going at the end of the year. So, all right. So thank you so much, and let's read the affirmation in the program. It's right here. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. Mahalo.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
I am so grateful, and each of us, I'm sure, are so grateful for all of our blessings. And I'm so grateful for the blessings that are in these baskets for CSL, for they go out beyond this very building and out into the community, into Kauai and the world. So mahalo for participating in the flow of energy that these blessings represent. Mahalo, and so it is.
It is. Thank you, Roseanne. All right, I think we have some children, some lovely, amazing spirits. Are they coming up? Yep. Hello. Oh, there they are. And we have Janice, our youth director, is here, who so lovingly has held space for our kids. Oh, we have Malia.
Hold your art so it's showing.
Do you want this?
Hi guys. We had a really good day. We had 2 artists in residence. Liana shared her creativity through her writing, a story about a good witch, a bad witch, and Santa Claus. And then we had Jill Richardson come in and share some paints and painting with us. So we were really exploring creativity. Yeah.
Thank you, Janice. And we have a affirmation for our kids, and we're going to let you know right now how we feel about you. You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent, and we love you.
And before you leave, we have one little announcement with it. And I know I wasn't supposed to do it, but I get a little break. Right? Yeah, exactly. There we go. So Ruby, raise your hand just for a second.
Step into your power.
She doesn't want to be drawn out, but you should have heard the talk. Queen and king, yeah, is fine. But you know what she did? She had a fundraiser at her school for this whole vision, so she was able to bring it to us today. And she didn't want any recognition, but you know me. She said, no, just, no, I can't. You know me, really. We love you. We love all of you. Your contribution for this is growing right in here. This is for our building fund.
Yay.
And and you hear it out of it because many of the kids came up and they said, we're going to make that happen. And that's our future. So there we go. Thank you so much thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Aloha.
everyone,
Thank
for all
you,
your
Janice.
creativity, too.
Yeah. Yay. Yay. Wow. So nice to see all those kids. So the other thing we want to talk about is that our practitioners, Roseanne here, and who else isn't going to be in service? Reverend Diane? Yes? Sure. Come on up. Yeah. Rob back there when he's done. And I think that, is Malia here? I thought I saw her. Oh, she might not be able to stay. Oh, no. Are you coming? No? Okay. Yes? All right. No. Okay. So you have the opportunity, if there's something that you would like to experience in your life that you want a little bit more knowing, a little more belief behind it, these people are practiced in being able to do that for you when possibly you can't do it for yourself in that moment. So take advantage of them. They'll tell you a little bit more about that and treat for something that, and treatment, when I say that, it's our form of affirmative knowing, affirmative prayer, for something that you would like to know in your life. All right? So thank you for doing that today. And is that it?
Right.
I think. Oh, and we also have a treatment box in the back if you would like to put your prayer request in there. That's good
And I
too.
would never be a shameless plug that there's only 4 CSL Kauai T-shirts left.
Oh,
and then
okay.
that little
Okay,
thing's
all
out.
right.
I just saw it back there and I went, oh, they're never going to happen again in the same way, right?
Yeah.
Just
okay.
saying.
All right.
Just saying.
All right. So let's go ahead and close out. Everybody can rise up for our closing song. It's in your program.
Rise up.
Where are they going? Thank you for staying up here.
Today I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be happy, so happy today. I choose to be happy, so happy today. I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful.
So what I know about that is that we choose, and so it is, and so it is done unto us. So I'm grateful for that, knowing that I have the gift of choice, and that each and every person here gets that gift of choice and has that gift of choice. As Patrick said, you get to claim your crown today, and that's your choice, or you get to abdicate it. And I just know everybody does it in their perfect time, in the most perfect way, and that we take everything that we've taken in today and just use it to our way, to our highest degree as we go from here. And I give great mahalo for that, and I give great mahalo for everyone that served today, because without these wonderful people, Patrick and I would be standing up here all by ourselves. So I thank everyone. I first want to thank these beautiful practitioners up here for being in service today, for knowing the truth for us and being in consciousness all the time for this center. I want to thank the Malama team that greeted you at the door, Sabina, Anna, and Sue Buckley. Thank you, mahalo, and to Roseanne for being our practitioner today in service. And live streaming over there, well, he takes our word out into the world. That's Rob over there, and Jonathan, who makes sure that we're heard. Thank you, Jonathan, for sitting over there so beautifully every Sunday. And Arlena and Peter, thank you for the new flowers here, all the flowers, and Jai for this beautiful Christmas bouquet that she gave us that's still looking beautiful. Oh, that's it. Oh, there's another one. What's that one over there? Karen, oh my God, thank you so much. Just goes on and on. The gratitude, everything's just growing, and the kids are growing. That was so wonderful. Thank you, Janice, for holding that space. From 2013, she held the space for our children. She didn't give up. She came even when they weren't here, and now they're coming, because that's the way it works. Thank you, Janice. And thank you, Maria, for all the amazing music that you sang today. And that was great. And Luis for keeping the beat every Sunday. Thank you. You were amazing. And if I've forgotten anyone, please forgive me. But I haven't forgotten you. You're all in my heart. And so thank you. Mahalo. And to everyone online and for everyone, thank you. Mahalo. Melekiliki maka. Happy Hanukkah. Happy light. And so let's take it all out now and just live it. All right. Aloha, and so it is.
Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I play where I want because it's all up to me. Today I choose to be loving, so loving. Today I choose to be loving, so loving. Today I choose to be joyful, so joyful. Today I choose to be joyful, so joyful. Today I choose to believe. Today I choose to believe. Every day I choose to believe. Every day I choose to believe in love. Thank you so much.